I wanted to talk about collaboration amongst women because it is hard to find that connectivity and magic and have it work so seamlessly and have it be fun and not always work. And she said, that's because they're Latinas. And I said, really? She said, not only Latinas, but that's because they're Boricuas. And I said, interesting. And she also said, you guys connected over one of the things that brings Latinos together, which is food. And I said, you know what? That is right. That is like a formula for collaboration. And you mentioned values. And I think that's key and a good takeaway for anyone in the audience listening to this is when you are looking at a partnership or collaboration opportunity, make sure your values are aligned because it allows for that fluidity to happen and it allows for you to actually have a good, successful collaboration. So let's share the story of how you actually came together. So we know it was during the pandemic. We know we shared numbers with each other, but who had the idea of we should make this a thing? Like, how did that come about?
You know
Our
what?
followers.
No. And the thing, we were with the flow. You know, nosotras no teníamos idea que nos íbamos a juntar y que todo esto iba a salir de esta forma. Es como yo digo, tú sigue lo que te hace feliz, sigue lo que te llena, lo que te apasiona y eso te va a llevar a cosas grandes y te va a abrir puertas. Nosotras hemos creado todo esto sin darnos cuenta. No sabíamos, nosotras no dijimos vamos a colaborar. We never talk about collaboration. We never talk about having this trio together, having all of this opportunity. We never talk about this. Never has this plan.
Organically.
It happened organically, but most importantly, the people who watched us, right? Our community. The first time they ever saw us together, which was when these ladies went to Rhode Island to come see me.
In December 2021.
In December 2021, they came to see me in Rhode Island. And it was the best time. When I tell you our social medias collectively blew up. People have given us a nickname. We're Team RIO, by the way.
Team RIO, because of them.
Ivelissa and Omi. We're literally Team RIO. Because of our followers. They gave us that. But it is... To me, the beauty of it all is how whenever we do come together, we organically create content, and we also do the very best we can to include each other in each other's plans.
Yes.
You're masterful at that, Omi.
We share whatever I'm doing. If I'm being, if I'm doing something by myself, I'm like, no, I actually have 2 more girls that I think you really need to look at and need to consider for this opportunity. If we do this together, you'll be able to get the visibility that you really want.
Yes.
And vice versa. Like, Rebeca has literally given us opportunities with brand deals. Ivelissa, I did an entire media tour in Puerto Rico thanks to Ivelissa because of her connections in the island. And I was able to go on all 3 major channels in Puerto Rico because of her.
Which is hard to do.
It's very hard to do because it's all in who you know. And she literally knows everybody. And when I tell you, this is what we do. We are not only sharing and wanting to really be inclusive in that. We really want to make sure that as one wins, we all win together. And who else do we bring on the boat with us?
And we are more powerful.
We're more powerful when we come together. I really, if there is someone that I don't bring with me, or if there's, if there's a group that I say, I'm not about that, it's really because they've put themselves there.
Yes.
They've put themselves in a position where I cannot associate with that. And I have to look out for my brand. That's right. I have to look out for my values. Those values don't align, then I don't mess with it. No te deseo el mal. Te deseo todo lo mejor. I wish you all the best. But I will not be there. To be a part of it.
And that's where that ancestral wisdom comes from our community. Dime con quién anda y te diré
quién eres.
100%.
Period.
Y algo que yo aprendí since the very beginning with Omi, when the doors start opening for her, we start at the same time. And she always said, Ivelissa, if I'm blessed, the blessing is around. la bendición está en el barrio. Quiere decir que si a mí me están bendiciendo, ya mismo viene la tuya de otra forma. Eso es otra cosa que that's one of my values on my page. Teaching them that if she's successful in her way, I can be successful in another way. Muchos me preguntan, ¿cómo te sientes con el éxito de Omi en la televisión? And Becky too. And what about you, Ivelissa? When is your turn? Or something like that. I'm like, no, it's fine. I'm not here for that. That's her opportunity. I will have another opportunity. And I can bless people that my path is way different than Rebeca and then Omi. And I have to follow that path. Mm-hmm. And I have to be blessing people on that, porque esa es my expertise. Las cosas que me han pasado, mi pasado, cómo yo lo overcome. Yo no puedo querer que lo que le está pasando a ella me pase a mí y no me puedo molestar. Uh-huh. Porque significa que entonces yo estoy cargando inseguridades, problemas de identidad. Y son cosas que yo no quiero trabajar eso. Yo quiero eso sacarlo de mi vida. Y mucha gente out there, they are not committed. They want a relationship like this. Are you willing? Are you willing to work on relationship like that? Con celos, con envidia, comentarios negativos. Nosotros somos humanos y nosotros tenemos emociones y sentimientos que we have to deal with that. Mm-hmm. And if you let those emotions be over you and controls you, no vamos a poder tener esto.
Let's dive a little deeper into that because I aspire for this. I'm watching you guys and I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. And I can see it like live right here. And one of the things that Rebeca and I met first, and that's how I got introduced to Ivelissa and Omi. But what drew me to Rebeca was how she was so humble and consistent with promoting other businesses, with talking about other women, with doing it like it was second nature. Like it was not a problem. Like, hey, go check this person out. Go check that person out. And I feel like ego plays such a huge role, especially in this world of social media where everybody's like, me, pay attention to me, put the spotlight on me, where they don't understand how you are more powerful together. So let's offer the people some tips. And we said a couple of things. We spoke about, same values, which is really important. We talked about being able to be emotionally intelligent, right? And not let your ego get in the way. But how else can people actually get this? How can they find this magic amongst their community? Because it is rare and it is very unique. And what's so powerful about your story is not only do you have a relationship that brings in business and there's lucrativeness to that side, but you can generally see that on the personal side, you all love each other, right? Yeah. So what are some tangible things? Like, how can people find this in their life?
Pues es como yo estaba diciendo ahorita, tus pasiones, las cosas que te gustan. Yo tengo un lema. No somos los únicos, pero somos únicos. I cannot pretend be her. I cannot pretend be her. People will notice that. When you are fake, they notice that. And we experience that in our page. And I don't want to imitate Omi. You never heard me say, hola mi gente. Or you never said me, tú nunca me escuchas diciendo, hola mi gente, buenos días. I don't say that. Tú lo puedes decir, ok, pero ella es mi amiga. Y I know que se va a ver como, ay, esta quiere ser Omi. Y lo han dicho.
I would tell you, to piggyback off of what Ivelissa is saying, we have always respected each other's platforms.
Thank you.
Aside from being friends, we have always respected each other's platforms on a level of, we talk every morning, right? we'll either, if we can't FaceTime or be on the phone, we will just send a quick good morning text.
Yes.
You do that with people you love and you care for, right? So we say good morning. If we know that one is posting una receta de arroz blanco, mira, yo también tengo una receta de arroz blanco. You know what? I'll wait till next week. I'll put it whenever else. Another time. Yeah. That's a level of respect.
It's professional courtesy.
It's professional courtesy. In our world, that is our content creation. In our content creation, that it's like, sharing documents. Like, that's our level of that. And so we respect that, and we don't step on each other's toes. No. We're not afraid to be open about something. If an issue comes up, I'm like, I'm feeling like this about X, Y, and Z. We're not afraid of that within our professional realm. And so that is something that if you are willing to work at that and you're willing to be open to that, you find people with likeness, right? People who have, those people. You attract those people. Mm-hmm. But when you are out here, especially in this world where everyone is an influencer, everyone is a social media influencer, but they're not doing it in a way where it's collaborative, or they're not doing it in a way where it's respectful of someone else's platform. Yeah. That's very important. You can't do that.
And the respect.
I think it's really important to, especially if you're in a business where you're in the limelight, whether that's social media, whether you're working with the press, or you're the CEO of your company, you have to show up as your authentic self that is informed by your upbringing. So I was born and raised in the States. Ivelissa was born and raised in Puerto Rico. Omi straddled, she started off in Puerto Rico, born and raised there, and at a certain age, at 11, moved to the States. I'm also informed by that. So how does that show up? I speak English dominant on my page, and I sprinkle some Spanish. I speak Spanglish. Mm-hmm. Omi's Spanish dominant, pero she also does English recipes now. She's doing both. Ivelissa is Spanish dominant, and so that's one of the ways that we differentiate it, because that's our lives. That's how we speak on a daily basis. I have recipes that are, yes, Puerto Rican, but with either a healthy twist or a vegan twist or whatever. Why? Because I have a kid with food allergies. I have to do that, at times. And so I've learned how to cook, traditional meals, but with that kind of twist. Do I get comments from time to time, especially in the beginning? Eso no es auténtico. Eso es, tú sabes, that's not the way my abuela makes it. No, but that's how I make it in my house. Y como dice Omi, en tu cocina tu manda. Pero sometimes those rules are informed by your life. And so it's not good for you to show up on social media and pretend something that you're not, or cook meals that, explore and cook different meals. That's the joy and the adventure of cooking. But don't present yourself as someone that has always done something a certain kind of way. Followers have a very high BS meter. They know and they can feel when something is made up, fake, whatever. Yeah. So your best strategy in anything in your business is to show up as your authentic self, because there's no one like you. And you will attract the people in your community that are like you. Yes. And I feel like it gives me joy when I'm at the airport and I see someone that graduated from like an Ivy League school and is like, oh my God, I'm Puerto Rican, and I also graduated from an Ivy League school, and I feel so alone, and your page like allows me to feel seen. I think people downplay the power of showing up as your authentic self because we have these hang-ups about ourselves. And so I've learned through this journey that the way I grew up is a beautiful thing, even with the little twists and turns. And I have a group of people that can relate to that in my community.